And thank you that we can celebrate together with Maharaj such a festival. Srila Vishwanath Thakur sometimes said, oh, when Krishna, while speaking Bhagavad Gita, just smiling little sometimes, or sometimes shed a tear because he's sad. For example, when he's saying, Vedaham samatita ni bhavishyamani jarjuna mam tu vedana kasana. I know everything, I know all beings, past, present, future. And then Krishna, in a very sad mood, he said, Mam tu vedana kaschana. But no one knows me. We had the katha yesterday night with Maharaj, his invitation, his longing. And Krishna is, oh, when no one is reacting, he's sad. So sometimes he's smiling little, sometimes there's a little tear coming from his eyes, even while speaking Bhagavad Gita. But these little moments, they are discussed on Svarga Loka, on the stars in the sky. All inhabitants come together and they discuss such moments for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. They have assemblies there. And they discuss why Krishna was smiling. It's because it's so extremely important. Whatever he is doing. And today is a day where a trans-historic event is entering our life, where eternity touches time. So in really correct sense, we cannot even say Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, because it's out of time. It's not, never ever to compare with any historic event that happened. There were some world wars and dinosaurs died out 60 million years ago. You know, there's some little historical events. But this moment is completely different. It's like eternity touches time and transforms everything. It is such extreme value. That's why at the end of Rasa Leela chapter, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham ashrita. Out of great joy to his bhaktas who are all over in this world, Krishna again comes, again and again comes here. Such a great, to give them karuna, to give them like an embrace. And this doesn't mean only 5,000 years ago. His appearance is giving grace to bhaktas at all times. It doesn't mean only that time. It's sometimes in Mayapur, there is a flood of Ganga, and then Ganga goes away again. But she stays back in the little wells and holes and little lakes and kundas. She stays back. So Krishna's appearance is there, but it stays like eternity, for eternity in this world. And then Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Bhajate Tadrashik Krida. Those who worship this Krida, his wonderful Leela, his exchange, what will happen? Yat Shrutva Tat Paro Bhavet. Those who hear this, they will directly associate with me. And they will not live in this material world anymore. They will live paro, in eternity. So this is a very a very significant moment in our life when this door today is open to a very deep remembrance. Whatever he's doing has such a significance. Surdas gives in his meditation, this is a blind Vaishnava in Vrindavan who wrote 120,000 songs. So he gives in Samadhi, he sees a talk between Lord Shiva and Brahma and the highest devas. They talk with each other. That we think there's great turmoil. The Milk Ocean has huge waves. Maybe it's the end of the creation. And Brahma thinks, no, it shouldn't be. And Shiva says, no, also, I didn't get the order to destroy yet. But it looks like everything is completely shaking. And then Mahadev goes into trance. And then he says, oh no, it's not the end of the world. It's not any big thing happening. In Vrindavan, Krishna is in little bed. And Mother Yashoda is, his little Divige. I don't know it in German, in English. Huh? In a cradle. And Mother Yashoda puts him little back and forth. And by that movement, he's the source of everything. The whole Milk Ocean goes topsy-turvy. And they only thought, oh, maybe it's the end of the world. No, it's only Mother Yashoda. She puts the cradle of Shyam Sundar a little back and forth. So this is a very beautiful thing. Whatever he is doing could move all creation, could also move us if we come in a certain connection. So, and in Latin, his advent, his coming from eternity into time, we say advent also. In Latin, it's advenire. In German, we have Adventszeit, because before Jesus appears, these 4 weeks is Advent. So, and where do we find this word again? In English? Adventure, exactly. So many people think, what is adventure? Oh, if I go to the forest and I climb some mountain, this is really adventurous life. I go to the Amazonas.
I go to another Dham.
Yeah, but this is the real meaning. The eternal Dham. But adventure means making the heart ready to receive him. This is the adventure we are on. All other things, going to the Amazonas and this and that, is a boring life which wants to have a little ornament. But principally, it's a boring life. But adventure means, now I want. How Maharaj so beautifully read yesterday night, the urgent campaign of Krishna for us. So to make the heart ready for that, this is called adventure. And really, there's no other adventure in this creation. So let us be little adventurers. We are born not for a boring life with some little attraction points. We are born for such an adventure. There's a beautiful discussion between Akbar, he's a Muslim king at the time of Rupa Goswami, and Birbal, his Vaishnav minister. Akbar told him always, why does your Krishna, your God, your Hindu God, why does he has to come to this world? My Allah, he's almighty. He can just order anything and everything is happening. And Birbal told him, wait, I will show you. And once they were on the Yamuna on a little boat trip, the king and his family and Birbal. And Birbal prepared a puppet of Akbar's daughter, just out of straw, but the same cloth. And at one point he threw this puppet in the water. And he was shouting loud, your daughter is about to drown. Immediately Akbar jumped in the water. And then he found out it's only a puppet. So he came back, a little angry. What did you do? And Birbal was smiling so much. And he said, you're the king of the whole Mughal kingdom. You can order everyone. Why didn't you order anyone? Jump in, save my daughter. The king said, I was not even thinking such a thing because it was my daughter. I had to jump. And Birbal was in tears. He said, this is my Shamsundar. He can order anything, but he feels so much mamata bhav, so much connection to the jivas here that he just, he's not ordering anyone. He's just jumping. So this is what we call Janmastami. He's jumping out of so much love, out of so much mamata bhav, and to a jiva. He's doing such a thing. And I'm so thankful that we come together and we have kirtan and abhishek and a whole day like a festival. We can't forget anything else. We are in a very quiet place. There's no duty. There is nothing else to do than just absorb. And really, if we look in Vrindavan, of course, his birthday is a festival, but it's just an excuse. Oh, today, Krishna is your birthday. And sometimes even in Damodar Leela, when Krishna is, actually Govardhan Leela, when Krishna is waking up, normally every morning Maria Yashoda is coming to him, waking him up and singing song. But at Govardhan Anukut, before, all the Brajbali are cooking so many preparations. So Maria Yashoda is not there, and Krishna is going up, down the bed and looking for her. But she's cooking, and Krishna is like holding her, and she said, psh, psh, no time today. And Krishna is looking, and he's saying, is today my birthday? Says, no, today is a very important day. Indra Puja. Psh, you be quiet now. So Krishna is thinking, when something is happening, maybe my birthday. And every, in Braj, many times they make some birthday ceremonies for 1 month, for 2 months, for everything. Because everything is it's a festival. It's a non-stop festival. Even when Krishna is in the cradle, when he's there, and all the elderly gopis, they look at him, and then first time Krishna turns over. This is such a festival in Vrindavan. His Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sajaracharam. Nothing moves in the whole creation without his intervention. But first time he can turn himself in the cradle. Maria Yashoda says, let's do a festival. And everyone come, they make a big feast for the Brahmins. And, it's a festival. It's for him. And sometimes Krishna is maybe 2 years old. He said, today I want to milk the cow for the first time. Mother Yashoda is so touched. And Nanda Baba also, really? Maybe he may also become a cowherd. Wonderful. So Krishna has a little chair, and the little Mother Yashoda gives him a golden pot to get the milk. And Krishna is putting it under the cow, but not really under the udder. Somewhere else he puts it. And Krishna is just touching the cow and touching the udder. And the cow is in ecstasy being touched by Gopal. And so much milk is flowing. But it's not even in the little pot, not in the golden pot. And he's not doing anything, he's just touching. Mother Yashoda, she's calling all the elderly gopis, can you see? Can you see? And they get all the Brahmins of Braj and they chant auspicious mantra. May he be blessed. The one who's a blessing for the whole creation. May he be blessed now. So also on the birthday ceremony, every time they think, oh, we will do something for you. May you have a long life. May you be protected. How much enjoyment is there for Krishna? His mamata bhav, his connectedness towards the devotees makes him appear here. But in Vrindavan, they have so much mamata bhav towards him that he who is the blessing for everyone has to be blessed. How much joy is there? He who fear personified is afraid. Many times he is afraid. Sometimes when Krishna just sees in front of Nanda Bhavan, there is 2 lions out of porcelain, stone. But 2-year-old Gopal, he sees and he's very afraid and he's running to Mother Yashoda and embracing and Mother Yashoda taking him. He who before him fear personified is so afraid. He is afraid from little thing. This is the beautiful exchange of Vrindavan. So we will ask Maharaj just after a little introduction, say a few words for such a day. Thank you. Do you need more space?
No.
Just put more.
Thank you. Krishna Chandra Prabhu ki jai. Krishna Janmastami ki jai. So, yeah, so much was Krishna Chandra Prabhu mentioned, and I just feel inspired trying to elaborate a little bit of some of those things, maybe. So much was there, yeah. So, yeah, today we are celebrating Sri Krishna's Janma Lila or Janmastami. So it's a Lila. It's one of many Lilas. Whatever Krishna does is Lila. He cannot but do Lila. That's his name, Lila Mai. I mean, he's full of Lila. Until he can only play, ultimately. Interestingly, in Sanskrit, one of the main words for God is Deva. Right? But the dhatu, or the root for the word Deva or God is Div. And Div, among other things, means to play. So God means he who plays. And the more you play, the more God you are, so to say. That's why Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, in Prabhupada's term, because he does nothing else but playing. Like this famous Swami Sri Krishna Prem, that he He's probably the first Western Gaudiya Vaishnava that I know, at least, right? So he was fighting the World War in plane and so on. And anyhow, there's a long story. I don't want to go too much into that. But when he came to India to say that he was looking for God so intensely, and he started to see the whole pantheon of, so to say, Hindu gods, Shiva, Brahma. So he was saying, like, he saw and everyone was doing something. Shiva was meditating, Brahma was creating. So everyone has something to do. And when he reached Krishna, he said, oh, he's not doing anything. And he concluded he must be God. That was his logic, trans logic. No, he has not, he's only playing. He has nothing to, he's carefree. He must be God. Because he was overwhelmed. Who among all this is God? I mean, I came to India looking for God and I'm more overwhelmed now. I have like an endless parade of deities. This must be God. He's only playing. He had this intuition. And then eventually he realized, oh, in Sanskrit, Deva means God and means that person who plays. So today we are celebrating that. We are celebrating one of Krishna's Leelas, Janma Leela. Rupa Goswami mentions in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, when he gives this list of 64 angas of Bhakti, 64 expressions of Bhakti, and he gives then examples after naming each of them. He gives examples from Shastra about people reaching perfection by engaging in any of them. Different examples. I don't know, famous example that I always like to quote. One of the 64 angas of Bhakti is dancing for Krishna. And he shares an example showing you can attain perfection dancing for Krishna. What do you think, Damayanti? We have your blessings? Okay. He gives example of one Chandrakanti, and she danced the whole night in front of the deity, and after that whole night of dancing, she attained spiritual world. That was her sadhana, so to say. She danced for Krishna for the pleasure of Bhagavan, and after one night of full dancing, she continued dancing in Lila, so to say. So Rupa Goswami is mentioning each of these 64 angas, emphasizing you can attain perfection by any of these. Like showing also Bhakti is very user-friendly. If you don't fully connect with this as expression of Bhakti, okay, you have this one and you have this one. And he gave 64 like a zip file. No, it's not that there are only 64. But I'm implying, as we were talking yesterday today, Krishna is so much on this mad search urgent campaign that he's trying to make it very accessible and user-friendly in one way or another. Please say yes, as we were saying yes. No, om. So one of these 64 angas of Bhakti is celebrating Janmastami. So my point is, we can attain perfection by celebrating Janmastami. So if we go through this particular day properly, there you have it. That's it. And again, it doesn't mean, as we were talking yesterday, that, therefore, if someone attained perfection at the end of the festival, he must disappear from Anandadam and be taken in some spaceship somewhere else or something. No, that's not the perfection we are talking about. No, that's not the perfection of Bhakti. Again, Bhaktya Sanjataya Bhaktya. So Bhakti comes from Bhakti and Bhakti goes to Bhakti. So the perfection in Bhakti is Bhakti. Further Bhakti, more refined, more deep, more broad, more Bhakti. So at the end of the festival, probably most of you attain perfection in Bhakti, but we may not notice it in the sense that everyone remains here doing the same thing that you were doing yesterday, that you will be doing tomorrow, and that you will want to do for eternity. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, and so on. No? Because what we are doing now is what we want to do for eternity. So that's why Bhakti also is very, difficult to understand for some, because externally it seems like You are a bunch of guys there in the mountain eating and singing. That doesn't seem like someone who attained perfection. But depending what's your idea of perfection. Our idea of perfection is what we are doing now. That's what we want to do forever. That's perfection. And that perfection never ends. It's always increasing, always evolving, always growing. Tadeva ramyan ruchiram navam navam. No? Tadeva sashvan manaso mahotsavan. Says about, so it's always new, always increasing in taste. It's a perpetual festival for the heart to talk about Krishna, to celebrate Krishna. As we were saying yesterday, Krishna himself is a walking festival, right? So we have today a festival to talk about he who is a festival in himself. No? His very existence is festival. So, yeah, I'm saying this just again to remind ourselves, yes, to celebrate Krishna's appearance from the proper place in our heart. That's so powerful that it can bestow and everything and anything we want and we need and beyond that. I especially appreciated Krishna Chandra Prabhu's. I like always words and meaning of words and root words when he went to Advent and connected it with adventure. That's very, very nice because he ultimately Leela is, you can translate Leela as adventure. Sometimes the word pastime doesn't resonate too much. What's pastime? Even sounds something from the past. Past time. We are talking about eternity, ongoing eternity. So Leela can be translated as adventure. And actually one name of Krishna is Urukrama. Urukrama, and sometimes Urukrama translates as, how do you say in English, adventurous? Urukrama means he who take bold steps. That's another way of saying that person is only living for adventure. Whatever steps he takes is a bold step, courageous, adventurous step. So that's one of Krishna's name, the adventurer one. So if you want to relate with someone who is in itself adventure personified, Leela personified, Leela Mai, Urukram, you have to develop this spirit of adventure as well. You have to become equally adventurous. So spiritual life is an adventure. It's a journey. Depending the word you want. The other we were celebrating Julan Yatra. And I saw some pictures that you were celebrating here as well. And even if I'm not mistaken, it's a picture that you started celebrating it before the festival started.
We couldn't suppress.
Yes. And I was there in what is it about? Chertana? And they also were starting 2 days earlier. I said, but it's not starting in 2 days. And they look at me like, what can we do? No, sorry. And then I received a picture from Ananda down there starting 2 days before. Okay, this seems to be the local tradition. Too much longing in this part of the world. They cannot suppress and they come. So Julan Yatra, the word yatra, beyond Julan Yatra, there is a yatra as well. Means festival. Also yatra means journey. No? Sometimes the yatris are the pilgrims. It's a journey. So on journey, festival, the word adventure is not very far from all that. No? It's a journey, it's a festival, it's an adventure. It's all the same thing at the same time. Today we're celebrating that. The word celebration is in itself a journey, internally, an inner journey. We made a journey to come here today, but also we made a journey to enter into a journey internally by being with each other, by celebrating Janmastami. So, yeah, what we are celebrating today is many things. Of course, we will continue talking later. I'm thinking about just sharing a few words. There are so many degrees to speak about Sri Krishna Janmastami. When Krishna does one thing, so many purposes are fulfilled simultaneously in so many levels. So he's taking birth here, but it has so many layers of purposes. So where to begin, where to end. So I'll try to share a few words in a more quote unquote basic level, and we'll see where we end up later today. And in connection to what we were mentioning yesterday as well, in terms of his unconditional love. So yeah, today we are celebrating Krishna's, as Krishna Chandra Prabhu mentioned very nicely, jumping into this world. No? Another way of translating avatar. No? Avatar means crossing from up to down. No? We can use the word jumping. It gives a little bit more of intensity, like he cannot contain and he's coming. No? That's one of the many ways we can speak about Krishna's unconditional love for everyone. No? He comes here over and over again. Because as we know, scripture Jiva Goswami says Krishna comes to earth to celebrate his Leela. When the Leela ends, he's already starting it somewhere else in another planet Earth. And when that finishes, he's already celebrating that somewhere else in another planet Earth. So it's an ongoing earthly celebration. It's not that come once every millions, zillions years and okay, let's go again. He's like ongoing on Earth. So that's many things are to say about that. One of them is Earth must not be that bad, right? Sometimes I've seen Gaudiya Vaishnava developing some like worldly negative orientation. Material world is so bad and we have to leave this place as soon as possible, blah, 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 blah. But Krishna is coming over and over again here too. He finds this place the perfect stage for performing his Leela. So there must be something good about here, right? So we have to be careful not to be so anxious to leave this place when Krishna is so anxious to come here over and over again. It's like we are leaving and he's coming. It's like, but I thought you were again. So that's one important lesson I will say of the principle of avatar. Krishna comes here to validate, let's say, the world of matter. World of matter is sacred if you understand it from the proper perspective. We don't need to reject matter. We don't need to reject anything. As one Srila Prabhupada said, the only thing you need to reject is the idea that you have to reject something. We are not rejectors. Bhakti is not about rejection, but about integration and acceptance. So Krishna comes to earth as avatar with all his parsats, Leela, paraphernalia, perform his Leela over and over again to validate not only this plane, but the power of Bhakti that can reach and express itself anywhere. So we are especially celebrating, Krishna's appearance, adventure here on earth, the significance of him manifesting his Leela here. And there are different sections. The other day doing research, during my writing, I found many verses in the Bhagavatam speaking of Krishna descending to the world, avatar, for the benefit of all living entities. Because again, we will reach some other layers of purpose where Krishna ultimately comes for his devotees, for those who are dying separation of him, for the Brajavasis. There are so many layers to explain and justify Janmastami. But we can start with what we were talking yesterday. Krishna has unconditional love for everyone. And his descent on this world is for everyone. Let's begin with the broadest explanation possible, and then we can start to become specific on the foundation of something universal. Because if not, we may become elitists, so to say. Krishna came only for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas. No. All this descent is for us, not for the rest. But the Bhagavatam is saying in many verses over and over again, he came and he executes his Leela, his divine descent for the benefit of all living entities, everyone, to bless the whole world. Different, by the prayers of the demigods, he come. Mother Earth also is feeling this weight. He come for her, and in this way, he's coming for everyone for different reasons. Again, he does one thing, fulfilling different purposes simultaneously. And this is mentioned a little bit in the preface, so to say, to an important verse of the Gita that maybe we can talk later, that I always like to quote on a day like today.
Janma karma.
He's spoiling. Krishna Chand is such a spoiler. Now you say it.
No.
Yeah. That's it. I was going to say it, so no problem.
Let's go. Just felt
The two together. Janma karma chame divyam evam jupeti tatvataha tyaktva deham punar janmam naiti mam eti sarjuna. Yeah, that's our new project chorus, reciting verses together. So yeah, this is a very beautiful verse with lots of implications. That's Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 9. Krishna is saying, in brief, Janma, Karma. He starts with Janma. The verse starts with Janma. Today we're celebrating basically that Janma, birth. Janma, Karma, Chame, Divyam. By Janma and my Karma, Karma here means activity, which means Lila. Krishna, when Krishna executes activity, it's called Lila or it's called Karma, but he puts the word Divya to put everything in context. Remember, Divya comes from Div, Deva, Div, which means play. So his karma is Divya karma, divine action, which is Lila. And his Janma is Divya also. My birth is Divya. My karma is Divya, divine. So whomever Evan Jobeti Tattva whomever Betty knows the nature of my appearance, Tattva as it is, let's put it that way, in Srila Prabhupada's terms, actually knows what's the implications of my birth after leaving this body. One doesn't return here, basically. One attains liberation, which for us, liberation is mukti, for us means prem, ultimately. That's what Mahaprabhu explained to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya when explaining the last line of Tattenu Kampam Sushamikshamano Jiveta Yo Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhak. No? So bhakti means that thing at which feet mukti lies. So anyhow, Krishna is saying there, if you understand why I'm appearing, why I'm doing my Janma Lila, there's no more Janma for you. It's another way of putting. Or in other words, if you understand why I'm born, you will be born to real life. You will be out of the womb of confusion and you will understand. And before that verse, I briefly mentioned this and we put it to rest for now. He mentions different verses. I won't go into each one. There are too many. But one of those Christians saying, I come to this world, he starts to mention, I come to establish Dharma. I come to purify those who are not aligned with Dharma. I come for my devotees who will reach there later today, Paritranaya, Sadhunam, and so on. But he says, I come for establishing that for Dharma, for the purpose of Dharma. And I would like to conclude on this word Dharma for a minute in connection to what we are talking. Krishna's coming out of unconditional love for everyone, jumping into this world. So Dharma, of course, it's a complex term. It can mean so many things for so many people. Some people will translate Dharma as religion, and then you go Sanatan Dharma and the function of the soul and the intrinsic quality of any particular object or person. But if we go to the meaning of Dharma, to the meaning of the word Dharma, Dharma. So Dhara comes from Dhara. So Dhara means to sustain, among other things. I know Krishna Chand is already thinking deeper than that. Yes. And I'm not saying you want to spoil again. I'm not implying that. But Dhara means, of course, it means current, and you repeat too many times Dhara and some magical word appear there. You try to say Dhara many times in your mind. Okay, we won't go there yet. No, it's too quick. So Dhara means also to sustain. The Christians call Govardhan Dhari or Giri Dhari. No? He who lifts or holds Giri, not the hill, Govardhan. So Dhara means to hold, to sustain, and Ma means me, like us. So Dhara Ma means that which sustains us, that which holds us. So what's that ultimately? Krishna's unconditional love. So So Krishna is again saying, I come to this world for the purpose of Dharma. To establish Dharma, but we will say to establish Dharma, I come out of Dharma to establish Dharma. Out of Dharma, out of Dharma, unconditional love, that which sustains everyone. I come personally to spread those news. And our Dharma is to reply to his Dharma. So to say, our Dharma will be translated as our religious engagement is a way of responding to his Dharma, to his sustaining us through unconditional love. So because that which sustains us ultimately is Krishna's love. So that will be one layer to explain the birth of Krishna, I will say. He's coming out of unconditional love for every single living being, out of Dharma to establish Dharma, inviting us to engage in Dharma. The ultimate Dharma is Prema Dharma. Krishna describes the Bhakti as Dharma. In Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyaksha Bhagavam Dharmyam Susukam Kartamabhyam. So Bhakti is Dharma also. Dharma. So yeah, a few thoughts coming now. But later we can go deeper a little bit into other layers of purpose of why Janma Lila, why Krishna is coming, why to celebrate it. Yeah, some thoughts for sure, Krishna.
Someone else? Can you say something about just that one is not celebrating it as a, oh, it happened 5,000 years, but as a reactivating something in us now. And how to do that. And
say a few more words about the last part, reactivating something.
Like Krishna appears, and I want the souls here, they should reactivate the appearance nowadays in us. So how to connect that sacred moment with Janmastami, with something that happened long ago.
Okay. Like reenactivate. Yeah. Well, a few things come to mind. One, of course, is what we mentioned before. Like we would say, okay, Krishna's appearance on earth happened 5,000 years ago. Historically speaking, is an event from the past, distant past, too distant past. So it's irrelevant for us. Too distant past, so to say. But as we mentioned, Jiva was saying, every time Krishna finishes one Leela, he's starting that same Leela somewhere else. So the point is, at every moment now, there's happening in some universe. Krishna is doing his Janma Leela. Oh, there's always a Janma Leela going on in some planet Earth of some universe. Like if we will say it's always 12 p.m. somewhere in the planet. It may not be here now, but somewhere it's always, the sun is in that position always, so to say. So in the same way, that's the idea, like the sun. If you can go at the speed of light, so to say, it will always be 12 p.m. so to say. You will always see the full sun. It's not that the sun is hiding, running away, disappearing. It's just like we are not fast enough to catch it. So in the same way, this Janma Leela is perpetual, is eternally going on, but we may not have the speed, so to say, internally to remain connected to that, like an ongoing affair. And of course, you ultimately, as many times we may say in a day like today, we are celebrating Krishna's appearance on Earth, 5,000 years ago in this particular planet, and it's happening in some other planet now. But ultimately, the Krishna's birth has to happen in our hearts, if you want to resort to that language. The ultimate celebration, birthday party, is here in our heart. No? So in that way, the enactment or reenactment of Krishna's birth, and the point is that that's an ongoing affair also. Like if you, let's say, someone attains pure bhakti, prem bhakti, you are in Golok Vrindavan, let's put it that way, and you are relating with Krishna on a daily basis. But Krishna becomes born again, so to say, in your heart at every moment. He's a new person, and your love for him is new at every moment. So you can talk about birth in those terms. Also, dying and being born again. Dying and that's the principle of existence, of reality. Even starting from our physical body now, to say that millions of cells in our body die every hour. Of course, there's a rebirth of other cells to replace them. So that kind of dynamic is happening from the molecular level up to the to the Lila, in the sense of, in the Lila, Krishna is not dying, of course, but a conception of Krishna is dying to for a new conception to come, like grow. Like Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna's beauty is increasing at every moment. So something new is born, quote unquote. He's born again. And the gopis' love, when they witness Krishna's beauty, increases at every moment. And when Krishna sees the gopis' beauty, gopis' love increase, he becomes more beautiful. Because his beauty is corresponding to the love that he's receiving. So he becomes more beautiful, and the gopis see that increased beauty, and their love increase. And Krishna's beauty increase, and their love increase. And Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami concludes, and the two of them engage in a competition in which none of them accept defeat. So in that sense, you can say for in the prema netra and the loving eyes of the gopis, Krishna is born at every moment. That's basically the symptom of anurag, right? Rupa Goswami describes anurag, one expression of prem, sneha, man, pranay, rag, anurag, bhav, mahaba. Anurag means that unique expression of divine love in which you see the object of your affection as if he or she will be absolutely new, unknown person. Maybe Sri Radha was with Krishna 10 seconds ago, and they were separated by circumstance, but at the distance she gazes at Krishna again after just 10 seconds of being with him, and she's asking Lalita, like, who is that beautiful cloud-like boy? I never saw someone like him. And Lalita is like, you have been with him 10 seconds ago. No, it's not possible. It must be someone else. So again, it's a type of birth, in the heart of the devotee. Krishna is born again. It's a new person, new beauty, new prem to honor that beauty. So we are invited to that adventure, basically. That's an adventure, if you think about it. But yeah, it starts today, and I would say the question or meditation among many meditations is how is Krishna to be born again in my heart today, which is the new version of Krishna to embrace in my life, and which is the new version of me in service to him to embrace and continue with this ongoing interaction. Yeah. Well, that's what comes, but you have something else to share.
Someone likes. Might have another urgent question. Just.
You have another urgent question?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said that Krishna appears for the benefit of all beings here.
Bhagavatam says.
Yes,
I'm just quoting.
exactly. Yes.
Just in case, clarify.
So can you maybe say that what is the benefit of some people who are right now in Locarno at the beach drinking coffee, who don't know that it's Janmastami today? What is the benefit of Krishna Janmastami for all beings who most of them have no idea what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first part of the question. The second comes after.
And then the third and fourth question, of course. Okay. You say it was a short meditation now today. He's cheating all of us in this one. Yeah, something that comes to my mind is when I was saying Krishna is coming. Krishna says in the Bhagavatam repeatedly, he's coming for the benefit of every living beings. One thing first that comes to my mind is, it's not that, how to say, he comes with some other purpose and as a byproduct people is benefited. But I would say he comes with the intention of benefiting, no? Because that's important for me to establish that there's some intentional aspect. There's not like, okay, Krishna is born, he doesn't care for any of you, but he comes for someone else, and as a consequence everyone else is blessed. No, he's having the intention, for each one to give them. So my point is, he's coming to bless everyone with that intention, but that doesn't mean that everyone will be up to the occasion, like you mentioned in the beginning of your presentation, quoting the Bhagavad Gita. I know everyone, but not everyone knows me. I want to love everyone, not everyone wants to love me. But his intention is that, no. So I will say, to make that point, like he comes with that intention. Potentially, that's possible, but also there is one part that is up to us to present this small yes. Yeah, that's one part of the question. Of course, one could say he comes, he performs his Lila, he establishes Dharma, he gives teachings, he enlightens people, that creates currents of wisdom and tradition and people who bless the earth. And I will say, arguably, also, that's another part of the answer. Not only by Krishna's presence on earth, not only by the presence of, and by the presence of saints, who these people in Locarno drinking coffee on the beach at this moment, they have no clue this people is there, but the prayers and the very presence of saintly persons on earth is blessing everyone, whether you know it or not. I would say it's even keeping the planet Earth in its axis, in its orbit, because if there will be no such influence, there is so much, as we sometimes debate and graphically it shows, like planet Earth goes down because of the sinful, like charge. So the presence of enlightened beings uplift and soothes the world, even for those who are not aware of that. So that's another way of replying also to that. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you.
You have something else to say?
No.
Yeah.
Just
And that's good.
When you spoke, something started turning in my heart.
Yeah.
Krishna is a few times saying in Gita, Namam karmanti limpati, name karma phalispriha. I have no intention to act in this world. People act in this world because I want to build a house and I want to get a job, and they have some urgency. And Krishna says, I have no urgency in this whole material creation, but still I'm acting. But those who understand that, they will also become free because they get my mood. And I think it's so beautiful. Krishna says, Sambhavami yuge yuge. Again and again I'm coming and I'm not stopping. And even that time I had no success with you, with my avatar, because you didn't came. I will try again.
Yeah.
So like this is the act, Krishna is.
What he said, Gopakumar, yesterday. No, I was
Exactly.
waiting one life, maybe this life, maybe this life.
Yeah.
Still.
Like a karma yogi, I'm acting, but this time it was not a success. He is not in any way disappointed. I'm trying again. So Krishna is really, in one way, is like that. He's never ever. He is trying again and again and again.
Yeah, he's the ultimate example of patience and compassion and tolerance. I was the other day reading the Vishnu Sahasranam, the 1,000 names of Vishnu, of God. And some of these names are Sahishnu, Amani, and all these words from the third verse of Shikshastaka, the Mahaprabhu quotes. And it seems that he's not demanding, but telling us, become humble, become tolerant, give respect, but all of them are first names of God, right? Like implying he's doing that better than anyone else. So if he's inviting us to do something, it's because he's doing that. And he's being tolerant, patient, loving, respectful of our choices, and see it all. I like to read all those in connection to what you're mentioning, right? So yeah, how much love and compassion can someone have to, again, like this lifetime, not this one. Okay, let's make a no, still he's waiting in our heart, as I like to say sometimes. Not that at one point God in your heart put a sign like, I'm done with you. I mean, like already zillion lifetimes and you're totally distracted. Look for another Paramatma. Sorry, going somewhere else here. Go into Locarno to drink a coffee now. Whatever. No, he's there. No, even more intensely making arrangement for us to. So yeah.
Maharaj, now the second part.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
What is the effect for bhaktas? Now we spoke about like effect for all beings, but like Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Krishna, then sometimes he mentions specifically my coming for my bhaktas.
Yeah.
So what is the effect of his coming specifically for his bhaktas?
Second talk later. If it's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Because that was the plan.
Okay.
But you can say something.
No, I'm waiting. Thank you.
If it's possible.
Yeah, sure.
Because also I know you have to do some other things. If not, we can.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we'll touch upon that. Yeah.
Okay. Shall we end with a kirtan?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for setting the scene for our meditation.